depending on what you're working with, the first thing you would go to is you want to open any type of instrumentation or file settings.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have instrumentation settings
no,
already.
I don't have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you working with?
Each cell.
What are you doing in your experiment?
Oh, measure the hydrogen peroxide and superoxide anion level.
So with your fluorophores, what particular channel are you looking at?
I need to double check. It's probably FL1.
Which is FACS.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a green and a red.
Green.
Yeah.
You're looking at green and red?
Green, red, yeah.
So you did a double label?
I'm not sure it's going to work or not, so I'm going to two separate and one joint to see whether it's going to work or not.
Okay.
So this is the first time I'm doing, so I'm going to do separate and then two labels, see whether it's working or not.
So when you open up your CellQuest Pro, you need to go to Acquire and you need to connect to your cytometer first.
Okay.
So you connect to your cytometer. Boom. Once you connect to your cytometer, you have your acquisition control set up. So this is where you can tell which folder you want to place your data in, your sample ID. You give the names here at this point. You also will move this to the side, and because you're working with, what did you say you're working with?
The channel?
The channels?
FL1 and FL. It's probably two. Yes, it's actually 2 is orange.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 is red, I guess. Yeah.
We're going to pull down everything. Threshold. And this is what we use initially to set up our plots. Okay. Compensation. And some of these will move later. We're at the cytometer. So we pull down our detectors, our threshold, our compensation. Okay. We will also pull down our counters to see how many events are going to run.
Where did you put down the counter?
That's from Acquire.
Okay. I see. Okay.
Let me see what else we want to do. And we're going to pull down our plots. I think a histogram plot where you can see a shift will work first for you. And I'm not too sure if you need a dot plot. I'm not very sure. Let's just pull 2 histogram plots.
Okay.
So you set up your plots.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, this is your inspector. It helps you set up what type of plot type. You can go to a certain file. You can label axes. So you will always do acquisition to analysis. That's what these are. And I will change this one as well. You have to click on the plot in order for this to come up.
I see.
Acquisition to analysis. Now you have to decide, what type of plot. What are we looking at? What is your x-axis? So if you are looking at FACS, you'll be looking at FL1. Okay. You see it's a log scale.
When it's log scale, is the data also saved in log scale?
I can't remember. Sometimes it's saved as linear, but I can't remember.
Okay.
That's a good question. I can't remember. I think I'm going to get rid of this one and give you a dot plot. I like dot plots because you can put your scattering. You can do forward scattering and side scattering, and that helps you figure out your compensation, your thresholds, and your voltage. So we're going to change this one to an acquisition to analysis, and here we're going to put this one to that. I always get those confused. We'll see if it's right. It might be flipped, but we'll see. Okay. Now, we're going to click on this. This inspector you can pull down. So I think you can pull it down. I'm not good with Macs, but is it here? Nope. We're going to move inspector. But we're going to bring back this channel. So where do you want to put your data?
Oh, let's just put the default lab here.
Right here?
Yeah, lab. Yeah,
Who's
it's
that?
already in lab.
Is that yours?
Right, yeah.
Okay. So you might want to change the data name. What do you want to call this?
Let's say...
Today's date?
Yeah, February... What's today's date?
Today's 21st.
21st, okay, yeah.
That's a lot of twos.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to say okay. So 0, and that would be file 1.
Okay.
You might want to give it a name.
Let's say, what is this? Unlabeled? Yeah. Oh, I see. Sample ID and patient.
Okay.
Well, it even have a patient ID.
Yeah. If you want to do a patient, you can write comments about it. You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
You can title your parameters. Like this one says forward side scatter. You can title it if you want. If you're looking at different type of CDs, you can have them titled. With this side is this, this is that. So this is how you acquire.
Oh, wait a minute. If I don't title it, the data will basically save at the P1, P2, P3?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
But you
God.
can go back into your acquisition and fix up your labels. You can fix those up later.
Okay.
So if you want to fix it, you can fix it now. Like you can change it, or you can title it, whatever you want to change. So those things are minor.
Okay, all right.
Later. So this looks like what you may have gotten. Let's see your printout. So these numbers are the same, but you say you've never done this experiment before. Okay. The first thing is, if we're not going to be running the FL3 channel, take it all the way down. What's the point? You're not even looking at the FL3 channel, okay? But you said that there is some overlap between FL1 and FL2.
Yeah, that probably.
We'll see what happens. Okay. So we can just start with this.
I don't have the experiment yet.
Oh, you don't have it? I was getting ready to run it for you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do it tomorrow. The sample is not ready yet.
So the best thing to do when you are working with this experiment, you always hit setup. Setup allows you right there not to run the full experiment, but at least to set up these parameters. It's running the experiment, but it's not collecting the data.
I see.
Once the data, you want the data to be collected, you declick setup.
I see.
Okay? You can also work with your compensations, because we know that there is some overlap between 1 and 2. So you might want to work with compensation between FL1 and FL2. And we have the event counter set up to 10,000 events being collected. If for what any reason your cells stop moving, they could be clumpy, you will know that because your events have stopped before 10,000. So you need to pull it out, tap the sides, and put it back in again if they clump up. Okay?
Can you explain how to adjust compensation?
Okay. No, I can't. Scientifically, it's very difficult.
But practically?
Practically, we use compensation when if you know that your floor bleeds into two particular channels, and then one will benefit from the other. That's the best way I can explain it. So it's a little bit of trial and error with compensation. You know that you will not have an FL2, so you shouldn't even be FL3. You shouldn't even be using the channel for FL3. You should only be using for FL1 and FL2.
Oh, I see. So this is 1 and 2 compensation.
Yeah.
What's the difference between 1 and 2 and 2 and 1?
Okay, 1 and 2. 1 is compensating for 2. Backwards 2 is compensating for 1. It's a little bit odd. So if you look, where are the colors?
It's too small, but the green and the orange will be.
So I best you have a pen. Okay. So if you have and this is channel 1, and this is channel 2. Okay. But we know that they actually move in this channel. This is 1 and 2. They overlap a little bit. If FITC is doing more compensation, FITC is moving more into the second channel. That's that one. if FITC is not moving more and 2 is moving more into the FITC channel, I know it's like which came first, the egg before the chicken, then it's the second channel. But I would prefer if you look this up in our book. We have a book.
That book?
Yes. Look up computation in your book. And my book may actually have a better definition of how to explain that. I have another book.
Oh, you have another?
I have other books upstairs that explains it a little bit better. We just never talk about it. I just try not to explain it.
Okay, yeah.
But this is your basic setup, and this is how you get started running your instrument.
I see.
Okay. But you have to work with your voltage and your detectors first. And that is the hardest part.
Yes.
Okay. And once you work with it, you can save those instrument settings.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah. And next time I just load the instrument setting again and use it. Well, do I need to do calibration every day?
No. You've already done it, usually weekly.
Usually weekly? Okay.
Yeah. Or if you know that there are multiple users and they're using different types of cells, that's when you use it. But we don't have a lot of users on this one, so weekly would be fine.
Okay. So, okay. All right.
That makes sense?
Yeah.